Hello everybody, Ray Pedrosa of the McAllen Cable Network in Austin at the Capitol. The 83rd legislative session is underway. A medical school for South Texas tops the list of legislative priorities. At the beginning of this 83rd legislative session, state lawmakers in Austin heard from elected officials, community leaders, and a whole group of delegates from McAllen about legislative priorities for our region. It was part of McAllen Day at the state capitol, organized by the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. The Texas House of Representatives recognized the event with a House bill.
Let's take up and consider H.R. 305, recognizing February 5th as McAllen Day at the state capitol.
And the Texas Senate with a resolution.
McAllen is one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas.
The trek to Austin has been a McAllen tradition for several years, but this time around, proposed legislation for a university merger and the creation of a medical school has everyone's attention.
While the legislation merging UT Pan American with UT Brownsville and creating a freestanding medical school in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas is one of my priorities this session. And it has the support of Lieutenant Governor Dehurst, Governor Perry, and Speaker Strauss. So we have very strong support to make this a reality.
The bills have already been filed and require a 2/3 vote in the Senate and a 2/3 vote in the House.
Well, it's a very historic day. It was a huge step and the beginning of the process that we actually have the bill filed. Now we need to work, keep on working together as a whole, not only for the delegation, but making sure that we have the 2/3 vote that is going to be needed so that we can have the merger of the two universities, we can have the medical school component, but also make sure that we're going to be able to tap into the PUF funding, which is going to be extremely important to continue and expand our universities back home.
Valley lawmakers have been selling the idea to their peers in the House and the Senate, realizing the critical importance of passing the bills.
Well, for one, it would create access to the PUF fund, the Permanent University Fund, which we're not eligible to draw money from that fund under the present statutes. By making this change, we'll be able to draw PUF funds to expand our university in terms of the buildings that we need because of our rapid growth in student population and the rapid growth of Rio Grande Valley. But more important is that it also will bring in different type of degrees, master degrees, doctoral degrees, and more opportunities for our people in the Rio Grande Valley to get an education and to also be able to have a medical school that provides doctors that are in short supply down in the valley.
2/3 vote in the Senate requires 21 votes, and a 2/3 vote in the House requires 100 votes. A hearing before the Higher Education Committee would also be required.
And just to tell you how positive it looks, the chairman of the Higher Education Committee, Chairman Seliger, has signed as a co-author of this piece of legislation, Senate Bill 24.
I'm very confident that we'll be able to get this bill to the House, and hopefully we can see the necessary funding for it. Also in the years to come, UT has made a tremendous commitment for the medical school of $100 million over the next 10 years. And I know that folks back home are also preparing themselves to put their part of whatever is needed on the table. So I'm very proud of what we've done up to this point, and the Valley delegation is totally united, which is the most important thing.
On the united front are newcomers Representative Terry Canales and Representative Bobby Guerra, who both represent McAllen.
I'm excited. I was born in McAllen, Texas, and I take great pride in that. McAllen's one of the most beautiful cities in the Rio Grande Valley, and to have a portion of McAllen in my district is a great honor. I think that it's definitely one of the more progressive communities in South Texas, and the entire Rio Grande Valley, accompanied by McAllen, is going places, and they're doing it quickly.
It's been very exciting, and but I'm also on a huge learning curve. But I will tell you that with the merger medical school, we've hit the ground running, and it's a phenomenal experience to be involved with this. My mother was on the Board of Regents at Pan American University before it became associated with UT. I wish she were here and alive to see this. And I had great uncles that were on the original junior college boards that established it back in the 20s all the way through the 60s. So the university is very, very important to my family, and I'm real excited to be a part of this with the Valley delegation.
We've got some other House bills that we have filed. I think we've got a legislative agenda final legislative agenda of about 10 to 15 bills. We've probably got 7 that have been filed as of now, regarding the criminal justice system, which make things run a lot smoother. All the legislative items that we have, that I have filed, either are in the best interest of society, to help our children, or to save our county and cities tax dollars.
Right now I'm focusing primarily on the merger, the medical school, public health, and transportation. I'm working with other Valley legislators on other bills that are important to them, and so we're all working hand in hand, mano a mano, abrazo a abrazo.
Veteran Senator Juan Chuy Hinojosa, who serves on the Senate Committee on Finance, has a list of other priorities too. He'll focus on restoring cuts to education and Medicaid, thanks in part to a drilling boom in Texas that added billions of dollars to the state's treasury.
Well, it's interesting because last session the comptroller underestimated the revenue that would be available. So we have $8.8 billion surplus, if you will, from last session estimates. So we will be passing legislation, it's called supplemental bill, to make up some of those underfunding that took place last session. For example, we underfunded Medicaid by close to $5 billion, and we'll be making up that deficit for the reason that Medicaid is an entitlement. We have to fund it, whether we like it or not. Is mandated by the federal government.
Senator Hinojosa says the cuts will likely take 2 sessions to restore, so long as the state continues to increase revenue. Finding funding for the Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT, is also a big priority for Senator Hinojosa. And that's a good thing, considering one of 4 major priorities for the McAllen delegation is asking TxDOT for the redesign and reconstruction of the US 83 Bicentennial Overpass to allow Expressway 83 to flow unimpeded over the top. The infrastructure acts as a barrier for economic development on both sides of the expressway. The Chamber delegation also went door to door visiting state lawmakers about transferring adult education and literacy programs from the Texas Education Agency to the Texas Workforce Commission. They were also seeking legislation to reform and improve the current margin tax program.
We're just letting them know those are the kind of 4 main concerns, and trying to put a bug in their ear so that when it comes across their desk, they know that we're supportive and we're available to answer any questions they may have.
It's been unbelievable. It's my first time up. I think it's awesome that the McAllen Chamber provides this tool for local voices to come up, speak to the legislation, hear what's going on, see what's going on, actually take part in the process.
Legislators enjoyed the visit too, both grateful and acknowledging the importance of the involvement of their constituents in shaping future legislation.
It's extremely important when you have your community leaders come up here to Austin, not only to visit with us, but to visit with other legislators. It shows the legislators from other parts of the state, it shows the senators from other parts of the state that our community leadership is involved, that they'll take time to come here and articulate the issues that are important to us.
Probably the people in McAllen are one of the most proactive groups of people I've ever met, I've ever seen, and I can tell you that nothing but good is in store for McAllen in the future.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the city for the support and everything they do for the people that live there. We do have a very challenging session ahead of us, just like anything else, but I think first and foremost we are committed to make sure that we do our best for the people of the city and the Rio Grande Valley.
Reporting in Austin, Ray Pedraza on the McAllen Cable Network.